Alright guys, so it's still Drivey here coming at you with Rage Gaming. I know this is probably the first video I've ever seen my face in, but I'm trying to explain a little bit of my content, and instead of just, doing videos off from videos of other people, like basically just stealing their news, I decided it was probably about time that I start doing a little bit of reaction videos, because there's a lot of stuff that I personally just want to talk about while I'm watching a video, and like theories and all this stuff, and things I want to comment on, and instead of making a whole video commenting on it, and then send you guys to go watch the video, I figured it'd be a nice thing for me just to react to it so you guys see what I'm talking about rather than making a video and then you have to go watch the original video. I will be leaving a link in the description box of the video that I did watch. So if you guys did want to watch the actual video instead of watching it through the clip here, this is an app that I'm using, so this is kind of, everything's a little off. I don't have lights and because I'm very new to YouTube and everything like that, so it does take time to build your company for YouTube. So right now I'm using my what I consider my office, and we call it the green room because obviously it's green. Um, it's got natural lighting, so I apologize if any of the video looks a little off or anything like that. And I'm not sure how I react in videos, so just a heads up, I might not react very much at all. And I do apologize if you find it annoying that I'm pausing the video, but that's literally the whole point of this video, is it a reaction video. So if I need a pause to say something, then I should be able to pause. Anyways, without further ado, we're gonna watch this video. It would
Stuff to
help if my
round up and
volume's up.
discuss. Lots of things in game and outside the game that I thought were interesting and I want to tell you guys about. There's a bunch of stuff that pertains to future content, some that we don't know much about. I want to collect a bunch of items, some in-game, some hidden, some not, but are definitely interesting and worth mentioning. On top of that, I wanted to talk about exotic catalysts because a lot of them don't seem to be dropping right now, even the ones that are supposed to be.
Okay, so about the exotic catalyst, I have not gotten a single one. I don't understand what's going on. I'm normally a pretty lucky player, and I had all the emotes and everything else exotic. I'm very lucky. I get like every gun in the game, and Blue has gotten two catalysts, and I'm pretty sure Crimson has gotten one so far. So I really don't know what's going on, but I want to experience catalyst, and I can't do that because I haven't got any. Um, but anyways, this is Unknown Player. If you guys don't know, I watch a lot of his content. He's actually covers a lot of Destiny news, so
Want to give some insight on what's going on there. And of course, I'll be going over some of the latest news and loot rewards and stuff like that. So, as usual, if you do enjoy this video and want to show some support, then hit the like button down below, helps a ton. And with that being said, let's jump into it. So, I wanted to begin with just a massive roundup of lots of weird items inside the Destiny 2 database, which some are unaccounted for, some are for future content, I'm sure, some are unsolved mysteries, and some we just don't know how to get just yet. Something pretty interesting is that one of the best perks in all of Destiny 1 called Rangefinder has actually been added into the game with Warmind. Obviously, Rangefinder so far hasn't been a thing in Destiny 2, it just isn't available on any weapons. The Destiny 1 version does have the exact same description, aiming this weapon increases its effective range. Obviously, the name and the icon are the same, but it's also listed as a trait, so that's one of those end perks, kind of a main perk in a weapon. So Rangefinder could very well be a perk that comes to a legendary weapon soon, like an event weapon, for example, or it could just be that Bungie changed their mind on a weapon and maybe wanted to have it, and then later decided against it. Probably one of the strangest items is this image of an underground bunker looking like a Rasputin bunker. Again, this was added with the Warmind DLC, and it's some kind of thumbnail of sorts. Obviously, it's very small, so you can't get a massive high-resolution look at it, but it's just very strange. It's probably quite hard to make out in the video, but inside the doorways, there are actually little robots standing there with guns, kind of guarding the doorways, so it is a really strange image. Again, this location is nowhere inside Mars or inside the Warmind DLC, but it is very similar to that original Warmind bunker on the Cosmodrome. Again, those robots standing there with guns just look super strange, almost like a social space. It could be some kind of real bunker hidden somewhere in the game, or I think what's more likely is probably a concept art that got changed a bit with the final version. Thought it was worth mentioning nonetheless where it turns out to be. On top of that, there are also 3 new redeemable items, which are going to be tied to Faction Rally coming soon. So Future War Cult has the weaponized material, which says it's going to help in the wars to come. New Monarchy has the building material, which says New Monarchy can use this to rebuild the city. And then there's the fuel material for Dead Orbit, which doesn't have a description, but again, it's the same thing.
I've heard a lot of stuff about faction relays and stuff that they want to change and everything, including the May 29th update. And I'm kind of just curious on when they're actually going to let faction relays come back, because my husband speculated it's going to be on May 29th, but there's nothing that actually said, from what I've seen anyways. There probably was something that did say something, but nothing that I've seen personally that said they're coming back on 29 said they're just going to do improvements, which means it could just be they're working on it and we're not going to see a faction rally for a while. But I would like to see a faction rally soon, especially in this new DLC, to see what changes could they have done and to make it better for a game overall.
We also have a new item that was added called the Exotic Ornament Voucher. Take this voucher to test to exchange it for an exotic ornament of your choice. It doesn't have an icon, so it just says temporary, which kind of implies it may not be ready just yet. But a guaranteed voucher like this would be pretty nice to see in addition to all those changes we saw to Eververse in Warmind. Obviously, a lot of the exotics we normally see inside Eververse were stripped out of it and put to endgame vendors. There's also test selling more guaranteed items and even the prismatic facet, which is another chance to get more guaranteed stuff. So it seems pretty strange, but also quite nice. I'm not sure how you'd get this thing. I'm not sure when or if Bungie plan on adding it. Now, a different item that's also inside the game did catch my eye. It's a very weird looking emblem that isn't in the game just yet and isn't available. I'm not sure why it's being hidden or classified, but you might recognise those are actually the big kind of wave generators on Titan. You might remember, I'm pretty sure it's the first or maybe second mission on Titan where Sloan asks you to go and unblock all the Hive stuff on these big generators. I mean, it is a pretty cool looking emblem with the black and gold, but it is very strange how this was added with the Warmind DLC just a few weeks ago and doesn't seem to be attainable, so it may have some relation to some Easter egg or some secret. It's possible there are ties between the Hive on Mars and the Hive on Titan, but something pretty strange again was added recently, so I'm not sure what its purpose is. I did also find a second look at the Bannerfall map, which of course is returning from Destiny 1 and is being added with Season 3's Iron Banner. Again, you can see it's been blown up and destroyed a bit more.
Yeah, Season 3 Iron Banner started today, because today's Tuesday. It'll start around, I think they said 10 a.m. Pacific time, so basically at your reset is when we're going to be getting the next DLC. Or not DLC, excuse me. The next Iron Banner.
After the Red Legion invaded, and there's definitely a lot of rubble and debris everywhere, so it's not as clean as the original version. Now, I did also want to mention a few sleeper nodes which aren't actually accessible through the normal override frequencies. These are basically special nodes. So I've seen a few people saying and noticing how they've grabbed all 40 of the sleeper nodes, so 40 out of 40 and done the emblem. There are still a few nodes around the map they haven't grabbed, and are they missing something? Is the game bugged, or what's going on with these extra ones that are unaccounted for? Now, the answer is that these nodes are actually reserved for the Nascent Dawn quest, so these are basically separate and kind of don't count towards the main 40. So you probably remember last week inside the Madam Subterrane Lost Sector, there is this one, which again isn't part of the main.
I'm honestly kind of wondering what the weapon's going to be for this week, because I know I got the hand cannon, and then I got the basically legendary version of Polaris Lance, so I'm kind of curious to see what the weapon's going to be this week.
40, you open it for free. So another one is actually just perched off the edge of this cliff in the big opening area where you first spawn down on Mars, called Olympus Descent. So this one is actually going to be opened in this week's Nascent Dawn quest, 3 out of 5, so it requires you to open a cache in Olympus Descent, and this is the node. There's another one for step 4 out of 5, which is found in Rasputin's doorstep, and that is this one, literally outside the door to the right. And there's another one for the 5th and final step, and this one is in the Alton Dynamo area inside the big server room. There's actually 3 inside this big server.
If you guys would like me to cover that quest, please comment down below so that I know that it's definitely something you guys want to see, because I record a lot of gameplay, but then I have the time to just kind of talk myself out of the video saying, yeah, nobody really wants to watch that. So if you would like to watch it, I will not even bat an eye at putting that up. I do go through the quest pretty quickly, mostly because I am a YouTuber. I do play a lot just so that I can get content for recordings and stuff like that. So anyways, like I said, if you would like to see that, please comment down below saying that so that I know that at least somebody wants to watch that video.
Room, there's one straight in the middle, the first one you see. There's one on the left called Stairwell, and one on the right called Heat Shield. Again, the 2 on the left and the right you do have to open as part of the 40. The big middle one is actually not part of them, that's separate for step 5 out of 5. So for those of you wondering what's the deal with these extra nodes, should I open them? Are they part of the 40? Is the game glitching? That is the answer. They're simply extras for this quest, and you don't need to worry about them basically. And it should save you a bit of time for the upcoming Nascent Dawn quest steps, because now with this footage you know exactly where they are and where to actually go for them. Now I also want to mention Nightfall Strike Loop, because obviously last week we saw for the Nokris Strike, it was a Braytech rocket launcher, which was pretty much from the same Braytech loot pool. That of course means the Zul Strike does have its own unique loot, but begs the question, what is it going to be? Because right now, there's no unaccounted for items or weapons inside the game. And I've looked through all the legendary weapons, and there are no more that are simply floating about. So I don't think there's going to be any kind of weapon tied to the Zul Strike. It's probably going to be one of these 3 exotic items, the Sparrow, Ship, and Ghost, which are currently unobtainable. Obviously, I've talked about these items before in videos, which you can't get right now inside the game, although about 2 or 3 people in the entire world managed to get this Sparrow so far through the first week when it was the Arms Dealer. I'm pretty sure it was a bug or a glitch and it was supposed to happen. I have no idea where where 2 of these are going to drop from, but I can almost guarantee one of them is going to be the Zol Nightfall Strike loot. So of course, I'll let you guys know when these items do start dropping. So moving on, I did want to talk about exotic masterwork. So there's a very strange thing in game where a lot of them don't seem to be dropping where they're supposed to. Obviously, like I've said before, about half the weapons just don't have their masterworks available. They're not supposed to be dropping at all. Pretty much any weapon that doesn't have the actual catalyst node when you go and inspect it inside the menu, those are weapons that aren't supposed to have them. But obviously there are a bunch that do have the node and are actually giving you descriptions of where to go find them. These ones like Darcy, Borealis, Crimson, Tractor Cannon, these are all from PvE kills. There's also, I believe, the Vigilance Wing and Jade Rabbit, which shot randomly at Crucible Games. I believe the Colony is also supposed to be from Crucible Games, but I haven't seen it myself personally. Let me know if you guys have. There's also the Huckleberry, which is dropping like it's supposed to inside Heroic Adventures. So these weapons like Cold Heart, Merciless, Watercliff Coil, Risk Runner, and Prometheus Lens, which should all drop from strikes. But as far as
I think what I'm going to do for a video is just kind of show you guys the grind for me getting a catalyst for this week. Not knowing me, as soon as I say I'm going to do a video, I'll be like, quick, easy, grind, first time, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to like pick a random weapon, and I'll probably do this for a couple weeks until I get all the catalysts. And I'm just going to basically equip the weapon. As far as I know, you don't have to equip the weapon, but I feel like it might increase my odds just maybe a little bit. And I'm going to equip the weapon, and we're just going to go from there, and I'm going to do a grind this week and see if I can get it or not, and then I'll update you guys at the end of the week if I did get it, or what tips I think I might have to do to get it next week.
I'm aware, nobody has gotten any of those strike catalysts to drop from. They just simply aren't coming from anywhere. There's also the Skyburner's Oath, which should be dropping somewhere inside the raids, but again, nobody's got it. Because I don't think Bungie would put the description in the game and say, get this from strikes, and then have it not drop. So I'm pretty sure some kind of bug, and then maybe hopefully fixing it. There are, of course, the 3 that are tied to faction rallies. So Graviton Lance from Dead Orbit, Sweet Business from New Monarchy, and also Sunshot from Future Warcult. Bungie did, of course, announce these changes to faction rally happening next Tuesday on the 29th. So I'm assuming that's when the faction rally itself is going to begin. But it is something I did want to mention.
Yeah, see, he's also assuming, just like Crimson did, that they're most likely going to have a faction rally on the 29th, but it has not been actually said that, yes, 100% there will be a faction rally.
Because a lot of you guys have been asking me, why is nothing dropping from strikes? Is it a bug? Am I just getting bad RNG? It's just simply the case that nobody's gotten them, and hopefully it's something that Bungie are working on. But again, I'll let you guys know if Bungie give an update to it. Now, in terms of my own progress with Catalyst, I've actually gotten only one drop for me so far. My RNG has been pretty bad, and I got it literally a couple of days ago during Escalation Protocol. But this was the Darcy Catalyst, so a weapon I've actually been using quite a lot recently. So
yeah, both Crimson and Blue have already gotten the Darcy Catalyst, and I'm not sure what. I believe Crimson might have been doing public events, but I'm pretty sure Blue was doing strikes when he got it.
This needs to go around and get, I think, 300 headshots, which is quite a lot, especially for a heavy power weapon. Ammo for this thing isn't exactly everywhere, so 300 headshots is quite a lot. So the Masterwork bonus for this is actually, I think, plus 20 stability, so we'll actually see how much that is and upgrade it right now. I'm not expecting a massive increase, but hopefully it's a little bit decent. But to be honest, it's probably one of my new favourite exotics to use. I actually love using it. I actually really like that they force you to use the weapon to upgrade the catalyst. It's kind of like a little journey with the weapon, because over time you kind of grow to love it. You do actually kind of learn a playstyle with it, and eventually you become really good with the weapon. So if you try out this thing right now, you can see a bit of the recoil. It kicks a little bit, not a massive amount for a sniper, to be honest. And now if we go and masterwork this thing, so we've got a dungeon that says completed, and if we apply the thing, boom, there you go. Oh, it's actually counted all the kills I've gotten so far. That's cool. So this is 355 enemies defeated. So not a bad ratio. Obviously, it starts counting when you begin the process of doing the 300 headshots. So I guess out of all those kills, we've got 300 headshots and 50 body shots. So not bad, but let's see how the recoil on this thing is. So what is this new version like? Well, yeah, not massively noticeable, but definitely is less than before. And if you spam the thing and try and control it, yeah, it's definitely a little bit less. I think it's pretty much as I expected, just a nice little bonus. But again, with the perk, you obviously shouldn't be spamming it, so the recoil should never get that crazy in the first place. I mean, it's probably not that noticeable to you guys, but as someone who's been using the weapon for like 350 kills in the past day, but it is definitely a nice little bonus. But you have weapons like the Merciless, which is plus 40 stability and 40 range, so you can see some of them are pretty crazy. But I think Bungie know the Darcy is technically one of the best weapons in the game right now, so the plus 20, I guess, is fair. But like I said, this is the only catalyst I've gotten so far. My RNG has been awful. I'll go somewhere where there's a few more high-level enemies kind of demonstrate it. But it was honestly very weird to get used to. Like I said, I've always considered the Darcy to be just complete trash. It was, hands down, one of the worst exotics in Destiny 2. I mean, snipers are bad, and then also it being exotic and it being low rate of fire, it just was an awful weapon. So for the past like 7 months, I've just had it ingrained in my brain. The weapon is complete trash, and it's just never going to be good. You can see that shot did nearly...
I feel like that's a problem too, is that Bungie waits until everyone absolutely hates the weapon before they fix the weapon. And then, like, people like me who just got in such a habit, like, that weapon's garbage, that weapon's garbage, that weapon's garbage, it's harder for me to go back to it and say, okay, let's try it out now, because I had already put in my head that it's garbage. So I automatically just delete them all. And that's what you need to realize, that when there's a problem with a weapon, they need to fix it sooner so that people still get on it and use that weapon instead of just assuming it's garbage and not using it at all. And plus, some can become biased, and because of the fact that they hated it before, can now hate it now, even though it may be a better weapon.
A third of this guy's health. Again, he's not the most powerful enemy, but still, he does have a bit of health. If I was to quickly shoot him in the head, that doesn't do the full damage, that did 870. And if I get a body shot, then that does, well, 249. But if you hold it on his head for a bit, then you get the full damage. But the weapon is just absolutely ridiculous. It's been hands down one of my new favourites, and again, I never thought I'd use a sniper in PvE. But every time I've been running strikes, doing milestones, I've non-stop had this weapon on. I've absolutely loved it. It's also very good against Argos, the first red layer boss, because he's so big. It's mainly good for anyone that's a really big head, a big crit spot, and doesn't move too much. I honestly wouldn't recommend it for Callus because he just squirms and just wiggles too much. Like when you do damage to him, he's like bending over, he's like holding his face, and he's just like really hard to hit. Like it doesn't matter how accurate you are, you're gonna miss a lot of shots or just waste time waiting for him to stand back up again and stop holding his head. So it really does depend on the boss, but for a lot of enemies like the mages in the Nokris Strike, those knights that carry the balls, it just destroys them. And those guys are normally in massive pain. They take like a rocket and you only 6 of those. Or you can shoot them with a sniper bullet and you've got 24 of these things. So this Darcy, again, I cannot sing its praise enough. It is amazing, trust me. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did and want to support this channel, then hit the like button down below. It would be massively appreciated. If you're new to my channel and don't want to miss out on my future videos, then of course make sure you are subscribed. If you want to watch another Warmind video from myself, you can click this image on screen right now. But as always, you guys have been awesome. Appreciate you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Like I said, I definitely do watch him a lot, so I highly suggest that if you do come to like him, definitely subscribe, because I will be covering a lot of his content, and I look at a lot of things that he puts up and uploads and everything. It kind of just points in the right direction of what people are actually watching. So anyways, other than that, that is the end of this video.